Time to rekindle a long-time friendship. The high-level Chinese delegation was greeted at the Finnish presidential palace. It's the second state visit to the Nordic nation by a Chinese president since diplomatic ties were established in 1950. President Xi's trip to Finland aims to promote the two countries' cooperation and economic ties.
The two sides will step up efforts to synergize their economic development strategies and expand cooperation in such areas as innovation-driven development, green development, and coordinated development. The two sides stand ready to explore cooperation under the framework of China's Belt and Road Initiative and jointly promote the connectivity of the Eurasian continent.
At a time when deglobalization sentiment is running high and European integration is under threat, it's believed that better relations with Finland will contribute to China's cooperation with Europe and shows China's full support for globalization and European integration. The two sides agreed to improve cooperation on the development of high-tech technologies, especially those that increase efficiency in the use of energy and environmental protection. The two leaders also reached agreements on bilateral investment, climate change, scientific cooperation in the use of resources in the Arctic region, and people-to-people exchanges.
With regard to the relationship between the EU and China, we have noticed China's strong support for European integration. At the same time, an effective and dynamic EU is also in line with the interests of our partners. Through cooperation, the EU and China can get good results in many international issues.
Finland is welcome to take an active part in the Belt and Road Initiative, noted President Xi in an article published in the Finnish newspaper Helsinki Times prior to his visit, adding that China and Finland have a shared responsibility to uphold openness and make new contributions to global peace and prosperity. The visit is expected to herald a closer relationship, and China's cooperation with Finland will be a beacon for the rest of Europe. Tom Wang, CGTN.
Let's get you more on that story now. I'm joined live from Helsinki by CGTN's Guy Henderson. Guy, can you talk us through the highlights of President Xi Jinping's visit to Finland?
Well, on face value, certainly before this meeting, there hadn't actually been a lot of build-up in the media across the rest of Europe. I think there was this feeling that it was sort of a forethought, if you like, ahead of an arguably far more important meeting between President Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump. But through the day and through the meetings and statements here in Helsinki through the day, it's become apparent that there are potentially some broader implications that stretch beyond the borders of just Finland and just China. We've seen, for example, statements from the Finnish President, Parliamentary Minister, talking about China and the European Union acting together against protectionism and acting together to protect the world's climate. We've seen also, this is something that's caused quite a bit of fuss in the Finnish media, in the joint declaration of the statement released by both presidents after their meeting, the use of the phrase upholding human rights. And it's these kind of statements, I think, one of the takeaways, certainly in the Finnish media and from analysts here, is an increasing willingness from China to cooperate, to compromise with its European partners, ahead of a meeting, of course, with a US president who is perhaps showing less willingness to do so.
And a host of deals, Guy, has been signed. What more can you tell us about these sectors in which the two countries will be cooperating?
Well, my understanding is that up to, or perhaps even more than 20 deals have been pen put to paper here. A lot of the details of those haven't emerged yet. A couple of big ones we've noted so far are a big order from a Finnish shipping company for a cruise liner built in China that's thought to be valued at about 194 million euros. An agreement in principle, or an options agreement, so not a final agreement, for a significant Chinese investment in the Finnish foreign industry. Those are private sector deals. At the political level, a broader cooperation agreement aimed at giving increasing political backing for two-way traffic in terms of trade and investment between these two countries, but also a broader range of agreements between officials of various sectors in things like culture, sport. We've seen Olympic athletes from Finland and China get together, or about to, this evening in the presidential palace. Finally, a cooperation agreement or an education agreement in the justice sector. That is quite interesting because some legal experts will tell you that one of the obstacles when Chinese and European companies are trying to do business together is actually simply a misunderstanding of each other's legal systems and legal traditions. So perhaps an acknowledgement of that here and an effort to try and amend those difficulties.
All right, Guy Henderson live for us there in Helsinki. Many thanks, Guy.